The APC is a party which has foisted on the country an electoral law that states forgery and making false claims in electoral documents is no longer a punishable electoral offense. In other words, the ruling party is decriminalizing criminality. We proclaim our existence because our country is worth unnecessary sacrifices. We cannot allow kakistocracy in Nigeria. We cannot allow kakistocracy in Nigeria. The government's claim that the recent reduction in the exchange rate shows its mastery of economics. This is false. In truth, the exchange rate, which was about 700 naira to the dollar at the open market, not the official, at the open market, when this government assumed office in 2023, is now about 1,400. This amount to a 100% devaluation in an import-dependent economy. This is terribly devastating. The cost of a liter of fuel was before this administration between 185 and 238 naira, depending on the part of country you are. Now it is about 1,400 per liter and still rising. Cost of transportation is now so prohibitive that it has become unrealistic for some workers to go to work. The administration told Nigerians that if it does not solve the power problem by providing constant power supply, it should not be voted for a second term. Today, power supply is far worse, with some parts of the country receiving an average of 2 hours daily, and some being in darkness for a stretch of weeks and months. Ordinarily, having made such a promise and failed woefully, an honest president should simply step down and not seek re-election. ADC! Rather, what we are witnessing is the most desperate attempt by a candidate in the Nigerian electoral history to retain power at all costs, even if it means bringing down the entire democratic system. Distinguished delegates and our rival leaders, 4 years ago, this government promised Nigerians renewed hope. Now, 3 years into its 4-year term or tenure, it is still promising renewed hope. When exactly will this hope come into fruition? The answer is simple. It is a scam. The answer is what? A scam. If allowed, this regime will continue chanting renewed hope to eternity. We have the duty to stop scammers from retaining power. ADC! We have the duty to stop these scammers from retaining power. ADC! As for education, the number of out-of-school children, we used to be 18.3 million, has lending to some 20 million. Equally, far more children, due to neglect and inability of their parents to take care of them, are being railroaded by the government into extreme poverty and criminality. Today, 130 million Nigerians are multidimensionally poor. 130 million Nigerians are multidimensionally poor. Let us all shout shame. Once again, shame. Once again, shame. Delegates and leaders, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the worst time in terms of security in the nation, with banditry and terrorism spreading across the country. But also worrying is the marked lack of empathy by the rudderless presidency. After the 2025 Yewata massacres in Benue State, the president supposedly on a condolence trip did not visit the affected community. Rather, he held court in the Benue State Government House and returned thereafter to safety in Abuja. Again, in 2026, after the Angua Rukuba killings in Jos, rather than visit the affected community, the president stayed put at the Jos Airport, which is 40 minutes drive from the city, and had the surviving victims and families brought to him, and was even quoted to have said that he must leave urgently because there will be no power supply at the airport. Once again, shout shame!